tournament. I don't want to break nothing.
You might just have to scoot over.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah. I still got both of y'all.
Welcome back to Urban Voices Radio. I'm your host, Brad Harrison. We're back from the break, and we have my man, Juan and Kelvin from the back. You know what?
Hold on. When you were starting, you said you have my man, and you introduced two dudes.
Yeah.
So my man,
look, you got to clean it
my
up.
man, look. Hey, you know what? It's about a week ago, I was looking over some of your information online.
Mhm.
I never knew what the acronym the bag stood for.
They told you that last time.
I never knew it was Brand Ambassadors Group. So I was looking over it, and of course, you guys have to handle everything from TV to radio to promotions, and now you are, I don't want to say the first, but you're one of the few minorities that have broken in to the spirits industry in Kentucky, which I know is a very difficult thing to do.
Yes.
Because it's pretty much a good old boys club.
Yes, it is.
It's a good old boys club.
Working in sound.
So the new brand is Legacy Wine and Spirits.
Yes.
All right, so let's talk about the brand and how you were, because I know last time you came up, you were talking about heading in that direction.
Yes,
you were talking
yes,
about
yes.
liquor, and now you officially broke into the industry.
Okay, so the Brand Ambassador Group, the bag.
Yeah.
The Brand Ambassador Group, the bag. We actually was in the beginning stages of Boosie Juice. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we started that. There was no Boosie Juice before me or Calvin had that.
So the Boosie Juice, and for those who don't know, the rapper Boosie Badass had a liquor line called Boosie Juice.
Yes.
That originated from Kentucky?
No, it originated out of South Carolina.
Okay.
But we are the reason that it was ever introduced in Kentucky.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that's when we was introduced to being a distributor. So it's a situation of basically a distributor is the person in between a distillery and a retailer. We are the only black distributors.
So the distributor is actually the person that puts the brand into the stores?
That's it. So for instance, we register liquors to be sold here. So any brand new liquor, like all the liquors that we are ready to launch are all brand new to Kentucky. You know what I'm saying? So
you got a business card?
yes, we do. We
got a Bell Lounge right now. It's about to be open in February.
Okay,
so my question is this. With Kentucky having the reputation for bourbon, and a lot of the bourbons in Kentucky are homegrown, how difficult was it to get into that industry? And now that you're bringing liquors in from out of state, was that an issue?
Well, it's a lot of new drinkers. You understand? So traditional bourbon drinkers are not really fond of the new methods or the fact that a South Carolina or something outside of Kentucky is called a bourbon. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's still the same process. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, with it being so many new brands and new markets, the traditional bourbon drinker is kind of scooting to the side. It's a whole new era of bourbon drinkers right now, where they don't mind flavors. They don't mind trying new techniques as far as like our filtering technique is different than everybody else's. So our liquor is actually aged through the filtering process. You know what I'm saying? So it's a new world of liquor out there right now.
So you're saying with Kentucky, we're speaking of Kentucky, with the traditional bourbon drinker, they're not open to maybe a vanilla bourbon or apple bourbon.
They're not doing anything with flavor. Anything with flavor.
So what made y'all want to get into what made y'all want to get into the liquor business though?
Well, we started off with just like promotions for liquor companies. And we were doing like events and trying to break new brands in the area. And what we ran into was, in order to even start promoting the brand, you want to make sure that the brand is available. And then what we were running into is we couldn't find distributors willing to pick up the brands that we were promoting. So that's what made us like, okay, well, we got to take this in our own hands, and we really got to figure out how we can bring the brands in that we want to mess with and do it legally. So that's how we got into the path of becoming a distributor. So we can pick up any brand, mess with any brand we want, and at the same time do the promotions for it.
Okay, now when it comes to the liquor stores, is it difficult to build a relationship as a new distributor? Is it difficult to build that relationship to actually get your product that you're promoting into those particular stores?
Yes, it is. It's difficult because a lot of stores, they want to know like what's your plan for promotion. They don't want to get product and have it sit on the shelf. So basically, it's all about how you approach them with your marketing plan, what you plan to do to move the products. With us, we were lucky because we were doing the branding and promotions already. We already had retail relationships, so we're using our retail relationships. We're using all the relationships that we've had over the years, like doing all the way back to doing the music label and all the way back to doing the TV show. It's like all of those relationships are now coming into play. And we have something that we can tie all this together. You know what I'm saying? So like the liquor kind of helps us do that.
It connects a lot to
yeah, it does, and we're just using all our relationships to do this this new venture for us.
Man, look, I'm a huge fan on two ends of this. Because I'm a liquor drinker. I'm a liquor drinker, right? But when it comes to liquor consumption, often we see these major corporations, these major brands target the African American community. They target like a lot of people think Puffy owns Ciroc, but he doesn't own Ciroc. Well, I think he has a stake in it, but he's not the creator of Ciroc. He's more like a brand ambassador, right? And then I've seen like in the last maybe 7 to 10 years, I've seen Jack Daniels trying to make the move with the Jack Daniels honey in urban environments because that's a drink that they can kind of push to the urban consumer.
They most definitely know that we spend money on liquor. And like I said, they understand too that every year it's a new generation of drinker. They not worried about, like we seen the Jack Honey movement. Me and him went to Arts, Beats, and Lyrics. Right. And from that point on, it's been everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So it's
like an Albert Crown and stuff like that.
Yes. That's what gave us the green light to do it too, because we understand that it's a new consumer, and nobody's scared to try new drinks. Like I said, at one point in time, the only drinks you really drunk was Henny, and you know what I'm saying. But now it's and
black people started to drink Bourbon because 10 years ago, black people didn't drink Bourbon.
No. That's another thing. It's like we recognize early. It's a movement. Like it's a movement. Like as far as like black professionals and
culture.
It's a culture movement. So it's with bourbon and cigar smoking. Just
experiences.
Being,
What us as blacks are buying into at our age, I guess, is experiences. So we just don't want to go to something. When we leave, we left with a vision or a visual, you know what I'm saying? And we left with experience. So like you're gonna be able to tie coming up, we have a lot of tastings coming up, and we're gonna implement the bag legacy. So when you leave here, we want you to leave with a cup, a fun, and you know what we're trying to do. So where we trying to go?
Flavors I got introduced in if that's not getting too much.
No, you good.
No. We got a black cherry bourbon. We got a lime tequila. We got mango vodka.
Ooh. And these are flavors that make sense.
Yeah.
These are flavors that make sense.
They're really good too. And then we also got something special with we got a regular bourbon. It's actually going to be one of the first black-owned bourbon companies out of Kentucky. So we're going to be launching them. We're going to be distributing them too. So that's going to be a big movement right there.
I was going to ask you that. In the industry, are there any? Because we're talking about a multi-billion-dollar industry. We're talking about liquor.
In Kentucky alone,
it's untapped by
billions of dollars are being generated.
And it's a global industry, right?
Yes.
Because when I was looking into like some sponsorships with maybe like with Hennessy and different companies, right, or different cognacs, they do a bulk of their sales like in France, places like this. So they do their sales market is larger sometimes outside the U.S. than it is in the U.S. Yeah. But being that in the U.S. we have a multi-billion-dollar industry, it's great to see some African Americans finally becoming, moving up to the forefront of those movements. But is there a significant amount of black-owned liquor brands? Are there a significant amount of black-owned liquor brands out there?
Yes, we actually going to a Spurs festival next week in Atlanta. So we're gonna be introduced to more. But we actually messing with a lady out of Chicago with wine. I don't know her name, but he knows her name.
Somebody knows her name.
But literally, we have local choice. The three brands that we actually messing with is owned by a white woman, a black woman, and a black male. So we understand how hard it is to get licensed here without getting raped. You know what I'm saying? What I mean by that is Republic and the other bigger distributors, they have a monopoly on what they're gonna allow on the shelves and what they don't. You know what I'm saying? So if they don't really mess with you, they're gonna tax you, where you damn near paying them to get your product on the shelf. You know what I'm saying? So it's just we see.
So you're saying that it's other distributors can keep you from getting your liquor distributed?
You gotta have a distributor.
It's a dirty game, man.
Yes, you gotta have a distributor.
It's like with us, with us getting into the game, it's really we also create opportunities because it's motivation as far as like people seeing that you can't get into the alcohol industry, and it's also a situation of ownership because now you can own a liquor company all day, but if you don't have a distributor, then you're just gonna be sitting on a bunch of liquor. So it's like having a distributor that's willing to work with the smaller guys or the up and coming owners is big because now you can be a liquor company owner and you can mess with us and we can be your distributor. You know what I'm saying? Which is key.
Now, have you reached out to the homie John? I know for a while he was endorsing a product, a vodka from an independent liquor company.
Sharks, not Sharks.
He's Shark, but I can't remember the brand. But
yeah, we haven't. But he was promoting what was the name of that vodka? I can't think of it.
I can't remember.
But we noticed that when we were in the middle of the Boosie Juice movement, he was doing that vodka at the time. Yeah. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of the name of it. But that's what I'm saying. It's like those types of relationships. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't know where his situation was with his vodka.
Was it Click?
Click vodka. Yeah. So I don't know what his situation was. If he was like in an ambassador role, like because that's what we were. We were just in an ambassador role.
I believe that's what it was.
And but I'm sure like they probably had a distributor. I don't know, but yeah, I would love to. We're here to network with whoever.
So when it comes to liquor brands, are there always new companies trying to form that are looking for distributors? Like is liquor something that people are actively trying to break into that industry?
Yeah. And then a lot of times what we find is a lot of these liquor companies are dying to get into Kentucky because Kentucky is the bourbon capital. So it's like, and not only just bourbon, they look at Kentucky like, man, this is a liquor state. You know what I'm saying? So they are interested to get in. And we talked to a couple of when we posted that we launched the distribution company, we had people from all over the country reaching out to us. Like, it's like, hey man, we love to get in Kentucky, So we ain't even really started promoting the opportunities that we have. So I can only imagine like when we really get it out there.
So when is the launch?
We actually going through the process of actually being distributors. So we had to register our brands. So that takes up to 2 weeks. So literally in 2 weeks we'll be on the shelves.
Yeah. And we have a lot of upcoming meetings with retailers, like some of the big retailers.
Yeah.
If y'all need somebody to test the liquor, so we got so we got brand up. He's our liquor tester for the group.
They're coming open on.
Oh Lord.
So that's the line tequila.
This is the line.
Where the shot glasses?
So are you saying that, for an analogy, Kentucky bourbon would be what like Nashville is the country music? Is that what it's looked at in the industry? Like Kentucky is the?
It's even bigger than that. Yeah, you can't have bourbon without Kentucky.
The horse racing bourbon and Muhammad Ali.
Now, do you see? We look at an urban demographic. When we look at black people that party, do you ever see black people the black party crowd making the shift from your Hennessy's and your what's the vodka people are drinking? Are they drinking?
What's that?
Well, I guess the Ciroc. You see people making the transition to some of these newer bourbon companies.
I do. I see it now.
Yeah, because cocktails, and the Woodford. So, like I said, culture. Everybody's kind of on the culture situation right now. So
we have women drinking bourbon.
You have a lot of women drinking bourbon.
You ready to take a shot?
Yeah, a lot of women.
I mean, since they introduced it to the show, we all take a shot together. How about that?
I ain't gonna take no shot.
I'm sip on it something. Well, Calvin can take a shot.
You gonna take a shot?
You can't sip it.
So this is local choice.
Yeah.
It's 80 proof, and this is a company out of Charleston, South Carolina.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna get a sip.
He said drink responsible. Drink responsible, man.
Take it to the head. Take it to the head.
So what else do you say y'all have a lot of events coming up? Can y'all elaborate on the events that y'all have coming up?
Well, basically, we have tastings coming up. So we're going to do a tasting out at Westport Whiskies. We are actually trying to sketch out a deal with Kroger. So like it's coming. Like we just
right, it's right.
Because we don't want to put it out there and then we get a better spot to do it at. You know what I'm saying? So, but at the same time, we are actually the Kickback Karaoke. So we're gonna come back with that too. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Every Thursday, we trying to work something out with Vibe. So literally, you'll know about that too.
Get some of your liquors in there.
Yes.
Now, let me tell you from a drinker what I enjoy about the bottle so far. I enjoy the cap of the bottle because the cap is made like a wine cap, but it's not a cork, so it's not difficult to get back in the bottle as opposed to something that you have to twist and turn. I like that about the bottle.
That's important, man. All of that time, that's something we realize. Label, bottle, all of that's important.
And one thing
it's pretty good too. I'm not the average alcoholic.
You didn't say
I'm not saying alcoholic consumer like Brittany. No,
alcohol consumer, not alcoholic.
Drink responsibly.
Alcoholic.
Also, that right here is very
What,
important.
the barcode?
The barcode is very important.
Yeah.
They'll let you know that the alcohol do registered already.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you don't have that barcode right here, do not buy it. Because the FDA,
they don't got that barcode. It's bootleg.
No, the FDA, you can get in trouble for like a liquid like that without no.
And that's a question I have too. I think, is alcohol like tobacco? Is it? Yes. You have to be registered in each state to be able to sell. So is it like illegal to take alcohol from Kentucky across state lines? You're not registered in that state.
Yes. Kentucky, like every state has different.
You like it, you'll get locked up. Big time. That's federal time.
Yes, because we the bourbon capital of the world. They want to dictate what liquors are sold.
All right, take shots. Take shots.
But let me tell you on that point. Let me tell you how petty Kentucky is with their laws.
It's not petty.
When you listen. Like say there's a say there's a liquor. Like I'm trying to buy liquors online that may be specific to certain areas. Like it might be a specialty bottle or something like that, right? You may be able to ship to all 50 states except Kentucky.
Yes.
So I might have to ship it to Indianapolis or to Nashville and pick it up from Birmingham.
Downtown Jeff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But we
and I didn't know that. But you can't ship into Kentucky. Like they have a lock on the industry where you can't ship.
And tell you the truth, they actually just passed that law about a year ago. Yeah. Because before then, we was doing it.
Shipping it in. Yeah,
so
you can't do it now. I was like, whoa, you can't ship it. It'll have all 40. It'll have like maybe 48 states listed. And then Kentucky, maybe Alaska or something.
Kentucky's in the league of its own. Is it because of the distilleries and stuff that we have there? Is that the reason why? Because of the
good old boys don't want to let nobody else in.
It's the control. Yeah. It's the control. You know, they're not letting everybody in because they've been controlling it for so long. And they understand how much money you actually can make. You know what I'm saying?
But at the same time, like what they're doing now, you're starting to see like certain laws change. They're amending laws. Some of these laws go back to like prohibition. So
right.
So like now, what they're doing now is they're starting to amend a little bit of them. So like they know that Kentucky's the tourism industry is coming here. Everybody's coming here for bourbon. So now you're starting to see where they got laws where if you come to a distillery, you're able to ship from the distillery to your home state. So they're doing different things to change the laws a little bit just to make it a little bit more to it.
So you can ship out, but you can't ship in.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. And what we need is more. I'm glad you guys are in this industry because we need more urban liquor tasting. Like I've been to tours at all these different distributors, and you can go in and some of the tours are free, some of them are $10, $15, but you go in and do liquor tasting, and it's a cool little bit. Like when I come out of town, I'll take them in, and we'll go on these tours of the distilleries, and that's cool. But I've never been to one that's catered to earth. You know, I'm in. It's just me and the rednecks.
We're gonna set up with the bag, man. We're gonna set up with the bag. We're gonna have like bourbon tours, and you might go to the same distilleries, but at the same time, we're gonna put a twist to it to make it, put a.
What's the one over I went to off of Excitement? What's that liquor? I went over there.
Is it Jim B?
Is it Bullet? Bullet. I went to Bullet. Woo! They have one, man, where it starts at 80 proof and goes up. Yes. I got to the last one. I couldn't.
Yes.
I couldn't touch it, man.
We done did some flights before, and like you said, well, I don't even know where I'm going after this. I mean, a lot of water,
Right.
a lot of water. But like I said, we want to mix, like I said, experiences. So like a tasting and art show. You know what I'm saying? Or
tasting with art.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So like you have experiences. You know what I'm saying? So you seen all of, let's say, Latora's art, and then you got I Drink with it.
This is the smoothest tequila I've ever drank.
That's right.
This is the smoothest. Hold on. No, listen. Look, tequila usually gives you that.
Yes.
This is the maybe it's the lime flavor. I don't know, but this is the smoothest.
Yeah.
So people can't see it, but this is a lime flavor.
They can see it.
They
Right?
can see a lot of-
Okay, what's a lime flavor? Well, people listening online can't see it. So it's a lime flavor tequila. And the lime is it's not overwhelming, but it's there.
Mm-hmm.
It's there. It's not a hint of lime. It's significant amount of lime there. But the lime makes it. I don't need a chaser with this.
Nah, you straight up.
I don't think I've ever drinking tequila without a chaser.
Chaser.
Yeah.
Yes.
You got your first customer.
That's right.
Have a winner.
That's right.
Nah, thank you, man.
That's dangerous.
That's what it
Because tequila put you
They
down.
probably sneak up on you like Duce,
Yeah, right.
something like that. Because
We
Duce
sat down and finished the bottle of it.
But it's a really good taste.
Yeah, it's really good. The mango vodka is the same way too, man. And the black cherry bourbon is good too. So.
See,
The black
You
cherry
can't go
bourbon's
wrong
a
with a
little
black
stronger,
cherry
though.
flavor anything.
Black cherry's 90 proof though.
Yeah,
So the
it's
bourbon-
a little tough.
This is 80 proof.
This is 80 proof.
But to describe it, the lime flavor. If you drink liquor, or even if you eat food, you know you eat something and then the aftertaste is somewhat
Yes.
not pleasing. The lime flavor sticks around after you drink the liquor.
I'm a big fan, man. I ain't gonna lie.
We got somebody asking how can they get some of that.
That's pretty good. That is pretty
We're
good.
going through the process of doing the registrations for the
Tell
state
them.
right now. It'll be available to stores very soon.
Very soon.
All right.
For Valentine's.
So can they
Yes,
personally
for Valentine's.
Somebody getting pregnant.
Yes.
No, man, it would be illegal for
It'd be illegal. It'd be illegal.
So just
Oh,
everybody sits like,
jail.
No.
Well, the first black group in, Sean. We ain't trying to get them.
I wasn't saying that. You know how people be like, you know what I'm saying? I want to taste it.
That is pretty good.
I taste it, but
No, so
it.
what we're gonna do is we're gonna let y'all know where our tastings will be, so everybody that's listening now can come out, and we giving it away free. Like we're gonna do a cocktail reveal.
This is really good.
We're gonna do a lot of different unique things with this liquor, and we're giving it away.
I might have to have,
Nah, I'm good. No, but if you drink tequila, you know what I mean. Like, yeah.
This is gonna be
I don't even
about
drink tequila.
$24.99 on the shelves.
How much is that?
$24.99 on the
Okay.
shelf.
Somebody says my trade deal says sign him up for the mailing list. Yeah, how can they get on the mailing list?
Just go. I'm the bag 502. The bag on Instagram. Juan Ditto on. So just follow us.
Yeah, and we got Legacy Wine and Spirits on Facebook,
Yeah.
Instagram, so you can hit us up on that.
Yeah.
You already lost the website, man, so people can follow.
The website's
The
coming up.
website. We need content.
Right
We're trying to get.
So what if somebody wanted to come in as a partner? Like, can people partner with y'all with this?
Yeah, most definitely.
We'll definitely have partnership opportunities, investor opportunities, and we also have private label opportunities. So anybody that's interested in having their own brands, they can reach out to us and we can try to help
That's
them.
pretty good, man.
So having that is unheard of.
Definitely. The more the merrier, right?
Yes.
We're trying to open the doors for everybody to get in on this, man, because it's like they're making plenty of money, billions of dollars in the state off of this. We as black people will not get any of that. They're making it right in our backyards. They're making it right down
across the street.
They got some distilleries out Shively, but
They got one in the West. They got Brown Foreman right there. Right there.
And one
Brown Foreman ship more overseas than in the States.
Yes.
Yeah, man. It's people that hop on a plane in UK and come over here,
Just
jump
to
off,
get the
get
bourbon.
bourbon,
Yeah, just
jump
to
back
get
on
the
the plane and
bourbon.
go back.
All right. So before we go, one more time, how can they get y'all?
How can they follow? Give me our social media handles and all that good stuff, please.
The bag. I say bag 502. But hashtag the bag 502 on your pictures and stuff when you're doing great things. Anything dealing with business or anything dealing with positivity. Hashtag the bag 502. But I am the Juan Ditto. He's Kelvin Young.
And Legacy Wine and Spirits on Facebook, Instagram. You can reach out to us there.
Check that tequila out. It's pretty.
Thank you,
All
brother.
right.
And I like the top. I like that.
Yeah, and most of our bottles are like that. So the black cherry bourbon bottle is gonna be like that.
Like it's
Yeah. The mango vodka is a little bit taller, but it's not like that.
because it still locks it in. It fits firmly where it locks it in enough to keep the liquor fresh, but it's not a cork. Have you ever tried to put a cork back in there?
It's impossible.
Yeah.
You gotta drink it out.
Right. You got to hammer that
You gotta drink it
motherfucker.
out.
All right.
So that's decent.
Shout out to the bag, Mr. Juan Ditto.
Oh, and like any
Thanks for
upcoming
having us.
upcoming events that you're going to be,
A part of.
yeah.
We have one. I think February the 1st, but it's at the Roots Museum.
Oh, okay.
African
February.
American Museum.
Yeah, we got one February the 1st. That's kind of like the first little jump off.
So will that be some of the liquors that you sponsor?
Yeah, we actually gonna do Tom Bullock tribute. Tom Bullock is a black man that did the old fashioned. He's from Louisville.
Okay.
Did it at the Pat Dennis Club. So with that being said, we're gonna have a tribute to him, 2 cocktails, and we have the lime tequila there too.
Now this tequila now, is it currently available in stores yet in Kentucky?
No, that's us.
You gotta get it through us.
That's us.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's one of our first products. So like right now, 2 weeks.
So in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So the process of people getting it in 2 weeks, it will be in select stores.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cork and bottle, 26. We trying to work on Kroger's, Liquor Barn, Party Mart. We trying to
It's
do
gonna be all over.
Fred's Liquors everywhere.
Now has there been any backlash? Not from consumers, from the industry.
Not yet. I think they don't know about us yet. Bro. We still kind of.
We got a little bit when we were doing just the marketing and promotions part. We felt a little backlash before, so we know it's better.
It's coming.
And
We know
it's coming for us when we
We got
really
some
get out
moving
there.
units.
Yeah.
But we feel like if we can kind of control the situation, then we ain't got to really look over there.
Yeah.
Right.
Just keep running our race. They didn't want to mess with it anyway.
Yeah.
This has been around way before we came. Right. I'm saying so.
So this brand here, how old is this brand? Roughly. Is it
Uh,
over 50 years old?
No. It's a new brand.
It's a new brand.
New
Okay.
techniques.
maybe like 10 years.
Yeah,
I'd say
10
10
years.
years, 15 years.
Yes.
So look, when you say new techniques, is that all part of like the distillery process?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they like the filtration processes they use. Basically, they use certain technology to filter, which is why you get the smooth taste. Is because the technology they use to filter takes out a lot of the toxins and things like that. So it makes it a lot smoother. The aging process speeds it up a little bit.
Yeah, man, because like I encourage people, even if you don't drink, since you live in Kentucky in the bourbon capital, to go on some of these tours. I didn't realize that when I started going on these tours, they have the actual barrels in there, right?
Yeah.
So some of these liquors are aged 10, 15, 20 years before they even make it to the shelf. And then there was to call your liquor something, I guess to be called a bourbon or be called something, it has to be so many years. It's be aged so many years before you can even call it. I didn't know that. I'm thinking like when they produced a liquor in a kettle last year,
It's gonna
these
be
liquors are
whiskey,
put up for decades.
whiskey, and then like every bourbon is a whiskey, but not every bourbon. Some shit they got. My fault. They got they got a saying, but like when it's all said and done, yeah, the aging really matters.
But even the barrels matter, right?
Yeah.
There's certain wood involved in the barrel that gives it flavor.
Yes.
So it's a process.
They got a person that'll pick the barrel out, and they got a person that'll do the liquor. So it's like, yeah, that all of it matters. Really do.
All right, man. We salute you guys, man, for breaking into the industry. You said you were going to do it.
Yeah,
And you did it.
Yeah.
So congrats on that,
Thank
man.
you, man.
People, make sure you follow Legacy Wine and Spirits.
Yes.
Legacy
Yes.
Wine and Spirits. Follow them on Facebook, Instagram, under the bag, or hashtag the bag 502,
Mhm.
and keep up with everything they have to
Thank you,
offer in the
bro.
industry. Right?
Thank you, man.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Appreciate you, man.
All right.